that thumbs up back to me telling me that we're on? Okay, great. I got a thumbs up, I think. It was somewhat abstract of a thumbs up. No, don't play the guest intro music yet. No. The show intro music should be playing right now because this is the intro of the show. And the show is Asheville 8 note, Asheville parentheses 8 into parentheses, no wait, it's Asheville 8 parentheses PM into parentheses note. The show where I, the host, Sam Irvin, have different Asheville musician guests on every week to chat for an hour and jam for an hour. It's available as a podcast, and if I have a feeling that you're watching me right now, if you're viewing the video, that's the case. But you could also just be listening to me, or you could be watching this on Instagram Live, which is not the complete show. Instagram Live is just sort of a behind-the-scenes camera angle, a fifth camera angle, like how New York City's the fifth character in Sex and the City. Thank you. I really needed that. And an alley-oop. And you're looking forward, you are looking forward, and you can look forward to more alley-oops like that, because it's a dinoBirds episode, baby. We got Zach Downs back in the studio, old-time friend. I do this show for 3 reasons, probably more than that, but the 3 that I recite at the top of each episode are thus. I wanted to practice turning all the knobs and connecting all the cables, so in the tradition of the show, let me check and make sure that, yay, I set it up correctly and I'm audible. That's good. So yeah, I just wanted to practice those AV skills, also practicing mixing all of the jams. So go and check out the YouTube page, Irvin Music Studios YouTube. Maybe smash subscribe while you're over there, and you'll find videos that I've edited down and substituted the audio that's coming through OBS live right now, which is a little compressed and ugly and distorted. Although it's gonna, at the same time, it's gonna be totally great. You can keep watching and listening to us live if you're interested in hearing live music. But anyways, it's better once I repost it on YouTube. So check out those past episodes. I think I just posted Andrew Thelston, Jeff Lott, and actually the featured guest, Carrie Morrison. That episode was epic. A lot of stuff to mix in that one. We had the drum set, acoustic guitar, electric, bass, keys, 2 vocals, and I was rocking the synth modular system over here. That was a lot of fun. Last week there was a classical guitarist on, David Stevenson, I think, and so that one was simpler to mix, but also a really fun episode. So that was reason number 1. Now I'm getting to reason number 2 here, which is community. I want to meet new people sometimes. Like last week, I had never met that guest before. Same with next week's episode, having Izzy Hughes on. A younger singer, guitar player around town. So I want to, make new connections and keep up with old friends like Zach here, who I know from my days at Moog Music. And also, offer a platform for musicians to, get recordings and get sprayed across the internet as I promote these shows. And then reason number 3, to carve out a time. I think I said these backwards today. Reason number 1 / reason number 3. I wanted to carve out a time in my life to do music for fun, to be creative for creative sake, to play in the sandbox of sound, to, bask in the glory that is the uplifting, heavenly, soul erupting, yes, getting a furrowed brow behind the camera, and that's helping me inspire. Yes, I want to consult with the muses, so to speak, and just and commune with audio itself. and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna chat for an hour and then we're gonna jam for an hour. So if you're interested in that, and if you're interested week to week, maybe check out Irvin Music Studios Patreon that I started in conjunction with this show. Maybe think about supporting this platform. That would be really cool, really great. I think I've covered all my bases. Yeah, it's a podcast. There's a Patreon. What was that? I said 3 reasons. Yeah, music for music's sake, communing with the muses, and community, communing with other people, and AV skills, communing with, interacting at least with my gear. I don't I don't think of my gear as a bunch of little friends. That'd be weird. But I do have one friend in the studio, and his name is Zach Downs, and I'm gonna introduce him now. Zach Downs, you're the birds in dinoBirds, right? Am I the dino? Oh, okay. All right. That invalidates my question. We'll get to the bottom of something, but not that today. Are you here? Are you going to serenade us?
Why would I do
Would
that?
you speak directly into the microphone, please?
Why would I do that?
You could just hold it like a prop. It's sort of a Carrot Top-esque prop where it's too tiny.
This? You're talking about this thing? I go everywhere with this.
Yeah, I'm not holding
I
it.
forgot
It's
I was
a
holding it,
ukulele.
actually. I forgot that
It's
I had
not
it in my hand.
It's not a ukulele right now.
Wordplay. Classic dinoBirds episode.
It's a dinoBirds episode, baby. We're back. You were on an early episode.
Yeah, I
What
think I
was
was
the first?
I was probably on like number 16 or something like that.
That's kind of early. I would
Yeah.
imagine that it was earlier. Let's look it up.
Oh yeah.
Fill some space. Fill some time, Zachy D.
Should be easier to do minor chords on ukuleles, like a bar version of a minor chord, but
Yeah, it's all kind of tight, you know. I
It's,
wish they made like a bigger version of it.
they don't.
No.
Minor 7, we can do that.
This is good. When did you learn ukulele?
I never really learned ukulele. I worked for, we may have covered this in prior episodes, but I worked for several years at a Sam Ash music store in Hollywood, California.
No relation.
No relation to Hollywood, Florida, correct.
Oh, right.
And no relation to Sam, although you are related
right.
to some other Sams, most other Sams, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to speak to it too deeply.
That's fine. We're going to get back to me, the guest.
That's right, please. You're the featured guest, too.
I was working for a Sam Ash music store, and my role there was kind of overseeing all of the not cool instruments. You had the guitar section, which was the biggest draw out there in
cool
rock and roll
instrument.
city. We had a separate drum shop across the street by the time I had left. They kind of built that while I was working there.
Also a cool instrument.
You had pro audio and keyboards and synthesizers and all that fun stuff, bass guitars. And then you had the nerd stuff, which was brass and woodwinds and sheet music and orchestral stringed instruments. But
Like
kinda,
a viola.
Yeah, viola is one. That's true, amongst others. And in amongst all of the nerd stuff too, we had like maybe 8 or 9 salespeople working there, and they all sold all the cool stuff. And so I would kind of help out because nobody wanted to buy the stuff I was selling. I would kind of meander over to the guitar pedals area where they had lots of little accessories for guitar, and cheap ukuleles were considered accessories for guitar players in our store anyway. And so when I was merchandising, setting up displays for stuff and bringing out new instruments, you'd have to tune them up. So I learned first to tune a ukulele, and then on slow days I would learn to play a few chords here and there. I've forgotten most of everything I learned on the ukulele.
Okay, yeah. Well, it sounded great a moment ago.
Thank
You're
you.
strumming along.
I mean, it is tuned to play a major 6 chord, so that's helpful. Anyway, if you don't know anything about ukulele, you can just hold it in your hand and strum it, a major chord with a It's with the 6.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
See, that's why I do this. Reason number 4, to learn things.
There it is.
Yeah, this is good.
And so, yeah, with that, like you can always, all right, whole step up on the 6, and now you've got a major 7. That sounds nice. Or you can flat that, and now you've got a natural 7. So you can, and then you just bar your way up. As long as you don't want to play minor chords, you can play anything you want on a ukulele.
Those minor chords are dastardly.
They can be. I don't know. Maybe there's an easy way to do it. Like I said, I've forgotten just about everything I ever learned on the ukulele.
Well, it is identical to a guitar, like the way that the strings relate to each other. The bottom 4 strings of the guitar also relate to each other in that way. But the ukulele is a 4th up from that.
The ukulele is a 4th up. However, you do have, in terms of note intervals, your top string that's the 5th.
It's an octave up.
From a guitar. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's an E. And then you drop down to an A. Is that right? No. What are we?
No, I think that the top string's a G.
Top string is in like that guy right there. Yeah. Does that sound like a G?
Sounds like a G to me.
All right. Then you got your G, then you drop down. So it's a C with a 6. You start with G, and then you drop down to a C for your 2nd string. Right here. This guy.
That's right. That's a C.
And then up a major 3rd.
Great entertainment.
And then your 6 is way up there.
Yeah, right. So the 2nd string on a ukulele is an E, and then the final string is an A.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
That's good. I do want to pause for a moment and comment about the variety of guests that I have on the show. I'm so excited.
My torso is longer than yours, but I am sitting so much lower than you. And now that I think about it, it was like we spent a lot of time talking about this on my last visit here.
The stool budget. Yeah. Was that the Thanksgiving episode?
They sell them by the inch? Is that the deal?
That's right. That's right. So please contribute to the Patreon so that my guests can sit on something more
taller
comfortable.
Stools in this studio, please and thank you.
Yeah, it's
Patreon.sam.8note.asheville.
Consider your plea heard.
Yeah, see, look at that. Look how low I am.
I know.
Part of it's my posture.
I look huge.
You have been. I gotta say, Sam, you've been taking good care of yourself.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Physically, I know that you swim. You still swimming?
I'm swimming.
Like you are.
I'm on a streak.
Yeah. You're keeping
looking
it
good.
tight,
Thanks.
dude.
People are noticing.
Keeping it tight.
I appreciate that.
You.
What about you? What's your
my
workout
posture
regimen?
is terrible.
You're lifting.
I'm lifting
young
a
one.
baby who's getting heavier by the day, which is great. They should do that. So that's helpful. And I get to the gym once every 2 weeks on my lunch break.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That you're going. You're like lifting.
Lifting. So I start out, I run a mile, and then if I'm into it, I'll do a little more cardio, and then I'll do some lifting. I'll do some resistance stuff, stretch, and then back to work.
Back to work. It's tough to do it. Well, no, it's nice to break up the day, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough to go right back into work, but I guess you're not like lifting coworkers.
Not every day.
Yeah.
I'm lifting them up though, spiritually.
That's right. You're working. I was gonna ask, is Sam Ash owned by In Music? Yeah.
No, not yet. Not yet. I think that's their 2024 strategy though. Every other music company. This is Moog Music in 2023.
They got Head Rush.
They do have Head Rush. I don't know what that is. I've heard that in the list of companies.
That's my like looper pedal over there.
Oh, cool.
And
yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Head Rush.
And blinky lights and stuff. Well, that's good. Keep it up. Yeah, I know you like to jog. You're not getting outside to jog very much.
It's hard to find the time.
It's
hard to find a good time to do it. Having a toddler for whom we are constantly adjusting our routine as she is aging swiftly and learning new things and new fun ways to injure herself. and new opinions that she has about whether she wants to eat her food or throw it on the floor or throw it across the room, the amount of mess that's required to clean following any meal times, the bathing, the changing, the reading, the playing. It's so fun and awesome, and there's no part of it that's loathsome or exhausting. But
Yeah. And your friends bringing it up every time you're trying to come and hang out.
exactly,
And get your
exactly.
mind
Well,
off it.
yep, which I appreciate. But no, yeah, it's so like weeknights are tough, and if I'm working a full day, uh, basically weeknight is okay. I get up, I go to work, and then by like maybe 9:30, I've got some time,
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
and then I crash.
But not a lot of drum set. I mean, right now it sounds like you're putting your family ahead of your own interest for a temporary basis,
For a period of time.
which is
Yeah.
I think correct.
And
Morally upright
we
to
are
do.
conditioning her. We're working hard now to condition. It's probably me more so. Although yeah, Katie's actually been good at encouraging or at least asking Maggie if she wants to play the piano or if she wants to watch Dad play the drums when they come home 15 minutes after I do, and I've like rushed into the garage, and then I have to like play the drums, and then they come in, and then Maggie's there and she's watching it, and she'll put her little earmuff headphone things on,
Cute
and she digs it.
and safe.
Yeah, ear protection, kids.
And adults.
And adults. It's never too late to take care of your ears.
Well,
It's
it
so,
could
if you
be
can
too
hear
late.
this right now,
That's
it's
true.
never too late. Yeah, no, yeah, ear protection.
I was
Super
gonna.
important.
Well, a lot of musicians, or like one of the things that I've really keyed into since doing this is like how much my mood depends on playing music, and talking to other musicians and thinking about just how I've conditioned my brain like playing the same thing or just playing things over and over, and it's a huge therapeutic thing. I was gonna it sounds like you do rush in and play some drums to get like that fix. Do you find that to still be therapeutic and like a mood boost?
I
And
do. And I do often play the same things. Like
Mhm.
literally this I have a YouTube playlist of I think it's 8 or 9 drumless videos or just drumless tracks that I'll play along to, and I've been doing that for 5-6 years maybe.
Okay, they must be
And
bangers.
they're pretty cool. They're pretty tight. Maybe one day I'll bust one out on the Sam Jam podcast just for funnies.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
I wonder if I can figure out how that AAV challenge.
yeah, just the out from YouTube into the in for the podcast.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a tricky one.
It is.
Hey, is this mine from last
It
week?
is, yeah. There's a
Oh.
few fun things up here. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna be on it when we're talking about it, but well, it appears as though we're straight ahead right now. Is my camera switcher not working? Oh, nope, it switched. But yeah, that's yours. This is a set list from one of the bands that was on.
Mm.
This is a flyer from Equinox, which Lou does the sound for,
Oh yeah.
and he was on. This is a skull because I'm like sort of edgy.
You're so dark and brooding.
That's right.
You're
Yeah,
kind of emo and metal at the same time.
that's what I'm going for. Is it working out?
I mean, I'm reading
that's
nothing
not
else from you. So
Yeah, good. I know. Thanks for keeping it sort of buoyant, and bringing the charisma with you today.
sure.
We can't be both. We can't. No, we can't both be shut down and brooding. But yeah, you drew that little rat guy.
The little rat guy. Yeah, he's a rodent of some kind. I don't know. That's speaking of habits. I've been drawing that character in some form for 25 years, maybe.
Okay.
You go back to some of my late elementary school, middle school notebooks, and that dude is sketched amongst my note taking.
Zach's mascot.
Yeah,
That's
that's it. And I tried to copy something my brother drew, and that's what came out of it. My brother's a way better visual artist than I ever was.
Oh,
or
okay.
ever could hope to be.
No, you're probably a better drummer.
I am. That's true. Yeah, he's bad at the drums. I assume. I haven't heard him play drums
All right.
ever.
What are these 8 or 9 songs? Can we go down the list? Give me some. Let's talk about whether I approve of these songs.
Well, most of them are just like they were created for drummers to play along to.
Oh, for real?
They've
Okay.
got songs like what it was. One of the titles is
Boogie Woogie Blues.
Funk Groove 105 BPM.
Oh, okay.
But then there are a couple actual songs that I played too. One is a version of Spain by Chick Corea. Which is a cool song. Solo.
It's ringing a bell. Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. You should practice.
I know.
You should practice it. And another one I play too is drumless for a lot of the song, but it was recorded that way. And that is I'm forgetting the name. It's a track off of Childish Gambino's album Awaken My Love.
Oh.
It might be
Very
the
cool.
last track. I don't know. It's about 2/3 of the song have no drums on it, but I put drums to it. Yeah, it's a little meditation on restraint and ballady sort of feeling stuff, just tone versus playing fast. All of the other songs are like play as much fun fill stuff as you want to, with these little stabby hits and syncopations. And then I get to that song towards the end. I'm like, okay, cool. This is my cool down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love Donald Glover. Did you watch Atlanta?
I have watched like a season and a half of it. I need to get back to it. I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, he and my brother went to college together.
Oh,
we were talking about my brother
cool.
earlier.
In Atlanta? I don't know where Donald Glover went to
they went to NYU, and they were both in a writing program in the Tisch School.
Okay.
In the early 2000s.
Neat. Yeah. I actually haven't watched TV for 17 days.
You've been counting.
Yeah.
So
it's part of like a whole lifestyle shift.
Or you've actually tallied the days?
I tallied the days, but it's not just TV. It has to do with like my streak, my streak swimming and practicing and stuff. But I put a big old, somebody told me that they don't have a TV in their house, like a new acquaintance. And I was like, whoa, it blew my mind.
Is this person like a hermit?
I actually don't know them very well. And then they sort of disappeared from my life. So
Not worth knowing.
I continue not to know them.
What do they point all their furniture at?
Right? Yeah. It's odd.
That's a joke from Friends.
Other furniture? Oh, okay. Thanks for your honesty there. Yeah, I do miss it. Watching.
There's a lot to miss. Yeah, watching some good stuff right now. Some cool sci-fi out there.
Okay.
Which is great.
Is it Devs?
Oh, I didn't watch Devs. I did not watch Devs. Get into that one.
That was really good.
I've been watching Silo, which is pretty cool. That's on Apple TV, and it's about these people who live in this giant underground bunker. There's like 10,000 of them, and they don't know how they got there. Or like they've been living there for generations. They know that, but they don't know why the silo was created, and all they know about the outside is that if you go out there, you will somehow die, and they can see you because there's a little viewfinder on the outside of the silo. So they'll see the person leave, and the people will walk like 50 feet, and then they'll just fall over. And so every time that happens, now you got a new person that you can see in the viewfinder. Well, a new corpse, I guess.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody survived yet, but I'm sure
not yet.
They will escape.
Not as far as we know.
Right. Not yet. Yeah.
It's a wild one.
It is a wild one. I'm so tempted to continue to talk about TV, but maybe,
This wasn't the TV special episode? No.
I don't know if there was a conceit behind this episode. Do you want to come up with a theme right now, like a musical theme?
Are we going to try to record your song? Drums for your song?
I was hoping that you could stick around afterwards for a few minutes to try to get that down.
Best not to put that on camera. I think you're right. It would be a little embarrassing.
Yeah, what do you
I have
think
listened
about
to
that
it,
piece?
And I printed sheet music, and I put a couple of notes on the sheet music, so I got that far. And I played through it-ish today
Okay, great.
in the 15 minutes before Katie got home from work.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. Yeah, you sent me a text that said the fills are tricky.
Yeah, the fills are tricky. I think so. You've been playing drums for a little while, for a few years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there are some fills. I've been playing drums for just about 30 years. And in 30 years, I've learned to play a lot of things. I've learned to play a lot of styles. I've learned to separate my limbs for the most part from each other. But I've also, in those 30 years, ingrained some habits of when I'm playing something that sounds like this and a fill is coming up to accentuate this beat, here's what I need to do. Or here's like a few options for me. And that's just muscle memory. A lot of drumming is muscle memory. It's working, playing rudiments over and over again, playing exercises, just drilling in the different ways that your hands can move and interact with each other, and your feet as well if you're applying that to the kit. And so in developing these bad habits, not bad habits, they're helpful habits.
Right. Conventions.
But it can be difficult to play something that is written specifically drum by drum notated, if it doesn't fall into the convention of the habits that you've formed and the muscle memory that you've formed. So, a lot of times if I'm playing or being, if I'm being consulted for recording a track, or if I'm given leeway to write something, I'll lean on those muscle memories.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
they
think
go a long way.
Do you think that's particularly a facet of drummers in particular? Because I, soloing on guitar, of course, have little licks in my pocket and certain ways that.
Well,
I've
and there are
learned my
some
fingers
things that
can
you
move.
just can't. You just can't physically do if somebody was to write it out.
Right.
To play this note and then another note right after it. You have a lot of options because you've got 6 strings and they're tuned, 2 octaves, a whole range of 2 octaves, and
3 octaves.
3 octaves from the low E to the high E. That's 3 octaves.
E to like a middle E to the high E string to like the 12th fret E.
Oh yeah,
3.
well I'm just thinking like if your hand is here.
Oh, like that.
And you're playing 16th notes pretty fast. You can go from down here on the low E up to like up here.
Oh, I see.
E.
Yeah,
So
and
you've
like a
got-
little 4-finger grip.
So like I could write something and have 2 notes that are more than 2.5 octaves apart, and you'd be like, F that, man. Like, that's not real. That's somebody who doesn't play guitar wrote this.
And that's what you're getting to, is that there's some things that I wrote accidentally, impossibly.
Not impossible, but just for me, not intuitive.
Okay.
But that doesn't make them wrong. That doesn't make it a composition that shouldn't stay the way it is because you wrote it that way for a reason. We haven't discussed the malleability of your notation.
Yeah, I do enjoy those fills, but interestingly, right, I composed a lot of this album on sheet music, inside of MuseScore, which I think is not a popular way to notate an album. And so I have not played these drum parts, and so I don't know if it's possible.
Well, we will find out.
We will, yeah.
I have not mastered the fills. I've not even played them correctly once. I'll just say that.
Okay, sure. We'll
At
see
least
how
at speed.
what your time frame is like.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to invite you back. No, I hope we can just jam.
Okay.
We could put that on camera, but we don't have to.
Let's jam, and then we won't subject you guys this evening to that
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah, I'm excited to be working with other people, though. I opened it up. I've got a keyboardist that I'm working with, learning a lot of the parts. He sat down with me and we went through all the songs. And at first I was really embarrassed because there was only like 4 to 8 measures of keys in like the first 6 songs of my album. And so we're going through song by song and I'm starting to worry, like, did I imagine writing piano parts for this album? Like, I thought there were more. And then the second half of the album is like loaded down with like extremely thick, difficult piano parts. So I'm excited that he's game to help me out. It should be easier to get those first few out of him than chasing him down for the others. I might sign on some other people, but it was especially good to sit down with him and realize like I was never gonna, it would have taken me forever to try to record those piano parts. I sent you the recording that I've made like thus far of like, I haven't gotten the violinist in that's gonna come play some stuff. She's coming in next week and her schedule's crammed, so I'm gonna try to record the entire outline of the album, like all the guitar parts all the way through by next Thursday. So I might have to like pull an all-nighter or two over the weekend.
You're young, you can do it.
I think I could do it. Some
Yeah.
Red Bull
Oh.
and like record
Oh,
Red
Oh, yeah.
Bull. I don't
That'd be
think that's a
great.
thing you can really do.
It's gonna sound not manic at all.
Yeah. But yeah, so you heard the electric keyboard part, and that took forever. And then it's on like an electric keyboard where the sound is kind of dinky and distracting, and it's inorganic nature. So I got like a nice new Telefunken tube condenser mic coming tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go to this piano player's house and record on his acoustic piano. And it's sort of a difficult step for me to open up to the collaboration because I was so selfish with it, and precious, and trying to like do everything myself and learn how to mix and just to better articulate, and do everything.
Already, yeah, you've developed a very specific way that this should sound in your mind because of how close you've been to every specific part.
Yeah. But I know plenty of great musicians like you who I can trust not to mess up these fills. And put the pressure on. Yeah. Have you had that experience before of being, I know you've played in a band, and I guess that's already sort of a teamwork kind of operation, but did you ever like come up with like a song or a part that then you were collaborating with others with and had to sort of let go a little bit?
That I've been fortunate to have a good amount of leeway in at least a lot of the original projects that I've been a part of. There was a band that I was in for several years here in Asheville, and the band was fronted, and all of the songs were written by a guy who had never been a frontman singer before. He'd never been a lead person in a band. I don't think he'd ever played guitar in a band. He'd been playing guitar for a number of years and was pretty good at it. But he had never been a lead. He had always been a drummer in bands.
Okay.
For years. So he was a good drummer.
But he was stepping up.
He's like, I've got a story to tell. I've got songs. I like the sound of this telly that I play. And I know great people who can do this. He didn't know me actually at the time. I showed up at the recommendation of the keyboard player, but yeah, no, he would come in and he'd be like, okay, so this song's kind of like this, and the drum part's kind of like this, and half the time he would come and sit down at the drums, and he'd be like, this is what I hear, and so it was a balance. It was me listening, and like I said, he was a great drummer, so I was happy to take his direction. and then we'd get into a song, and I might come up with something that I liked, and he'd give me a nod or say, "That's cool. I like how you do that." Or you'd say, "Well, actually, I'm going to change this part on my guitar, so maybe you should do a halftime thing here."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he always had. I could tell he had a pretty specific idea, at least coming in with a new song, of how the drums should sound. But we got along. We worked well together. Worked out what things should sound like. I was happy to acquiesce. Creativity.
The keyboardist got some social cred for bringing you on board.
The one, oh yeah, a little bit, yeah. But he left the band pretty shortly after I joined. He got pretty busy with teaching. But yeah, I stuck on for a few more years. Yeah, COVID shut that one down, unfortunately.
Yeah, that it took a toll.
Sure did.
Still paying the price.
Yeah, everybody's fine, by the way.
Not everybody. Well, everybody in the band.
Everybody
Okay.
in that band is fine. But yeah, we just kind of lost our routine. We would play every week for 4 years. I think we played every week.
Whoa.
And then yeah, we just stopped playing, and the singer moved up to New Hampshire, and keyboardist had a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, that happens.
It does happen.
I like the idea of a weekly band practice until I start to think about what my week currently looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make it fit. You gotta make it work.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to get tight, though. I mean, if you want to be in a band that is good, that is tight, that is original, you gotta play frequently, and you gotta stay up on the songs and the arrangements.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be staring at sheet music.
Nope.
On stage.
Nope.
You've given me grief about that before. We played some jazz gigs together. And I went to the jazz jam at One World West on Sunday and brought my iPad with me up on stage and got told, like, that's a no-no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the tradition is memorization.
Hell yeah.
And so I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing trumpet today because I don't have anything prepared. But I'm gonna return triumphantly with something.
So if right now I handed you your trumpet and a bass player showed up and I got behind the drums and we said, let's play Autumn Leaves, could you do it?
I could probably do Autumn Leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. You could do solo over it.
I could probably only do Autumn Leaves in the original key, but on trumpet it would be a whole step down, so that would be really confusing for everybody. I guess I could figure it out.
I guess if you had choice of the key, if you could play it in any key,
then I could probably do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I guess I could like play anything, but it would just be a little creative and sloppy, you know.
That's jazz, baby.
I guess so.
You just defined a jazz. It's creative and a little sloppy. That is the 100% of what jazz is.
You're right. Maybe I chickened out. Maybe I should have just gotten up there, like freewheeled it, and then like been real confident about it. Like, yeah that was Autumn Leaves.
There's only 12 notes,
man.
Yeah. You're going to pick one that sounds good, chances are.
I'm going to do Recordame, I think. Do you know that song?
We've played it before.
Yeah.
We played it before. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't sing it.
It's like boo doo doo ba ba ba. Boo doo ba ba doo ba da ba bum 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 ba dum ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Doo doo ba 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 bum ba bum 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 ba da ba da.
We're usually doing a bossa version of that, aren't we?
Yeah. Was I swinging it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, with the. We really walked right in there. That was good. You are a drummer, so that makes sense.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
Locking it in, listening.
Percussionist and a synthesist. So you're still at Moog Music.
Still at Moog.
Holding it down.
Keeping it from flying away.
We saw Boat Command's release.
Yeah.
Show.
Those guys are great.
They are great. Something special there.
Mm-hmm. No, I was fortunate to be able to play a couple songs with them. They pulled me up on stage. You were there. You saw it happen, but
yeah, my mouth was agape.
Ew.
Just drooling all over myself. Like, whoa, look at them go.
Yeah. No, it's not a terrible thing to imagine, but I shouldn't have reacted so
well, if it
viscerally.
If it wasn't for all the drool, I think it would.
I think this is the drool that did it for me.
Yeah.
And I was trying to focus on stage, and there you are, just creating a puddle on the floor. But
And a
no,
sign that said like, Zach, this jewel's for you.
it's so embarrassing. But yeah, no, I love listening to Boat Command.
Their
Boat
new
Command's
album is out.
Boat,
Yeah.
which is called Boat Command.
It is self-titled, yeah.
Self-titled. I think their prior EPs are named Boat Patrol
That's right.
and Boat Lounge.
Which that's also correct.
I remember.
They explained when they were on the live stream that they were going to name the band Boat Patrol, but they found another band that actually sounded pretty similar to what they were going for, named Boat Patrol. So instead, they just named their album Boat Patrol.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And now they are the commanders. They're not just patrolling; they're the Boat Command.
It's a snazzy title.
It's a good title.
Mm-hmm.
Strong title. I've never, rarely have I been in a band whose band name I was not at least somewhat ashamed to say out loud.
I've got a good one, but it's definitely shameful.
Oh yeah?
Are you ready for it?
So
It's like on a post-it on my bulletin board upstairs because I like it that much.
Mhm.
I want to do something with it. Stupenda.
ugh. Oh, I would not see that band. Or I'd be like, we're playing with what's their name? Stupenda?
Even just saying it makes you feel. I feel like it's like self-referential. You know,
I am
Like,
not
that is the-
stupenda.
when
Don't
you're
lump me
saying
in.
it, you don't feel stupenda when you say it.
I don't know what that is.
It's sort of like stupid, but also stupendous, and also sort of sounds like panda.
Would a panda be any part of the marketing, the visual aspects, logo, or
Well, it's sort of a pinda. So
stupenda? Does it end with an A?
it ends with a UH.
So there's no panda in the word at all. It just kind of
There's
sounds
not.
like
It
it.
just kind of, yeah, this is coming to me right now, but mostly it's a blend of stupid and stupendous,
Yeah, I don't
and
know
like
how much
with
of a blend it
with
is.
ending with an You think it leans more one direction?
Well,
Oh,
dude,
One
it's your
Direction.
band. Oh, you could, yeah.
That's a
Just
That's a good
Google
one.
that one real quick. See if there's any.
Yeah, it's already taken.
Ah, shit.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, love the Boat Command guys.
That's right. I wish that they had closed their concert.
Closed it.
Because they played first.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. If they called the venue and the venue was like, "Oh, well, we have this band coming in from Florida. You guys could open for them." And
Oh,
then they
right.
took
That
the
could have been it.
opportunity. But they did play for a while. They played for like 2 solid hours
Yeah, right.
prior to that band. And I felt bad because most of the audience left after their set.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
that other band.
I hung
died.
out for that second band for a little while. They were good. It was a tight band. I cannot remember the name. I feel bad.
Dionysus.
Dionysus.
Yeah, the
Thank
party
you.
gods.
Shout out Dionysus. Go check them out. They had a really talented sax player. Alto sax player.
And their shirt game was
Their shirt
through
game
the
was
roof.
on point.
Yeah.
And they were responsible for bringing, y'all, if you are playing live and you get sweaty on stage like some people do sometimes, these guys brought 3 little like moisture abatement fans, like high powered. They look like seashells, or no, not seashells, but they're like what do you call it? A spiral, sort of like half
like a
spiral
snail
shape.
shell.
Kind of like a snail shell, but yeah, just kind of goes once around and then it just shoots tons of air out. It was a good fan.
Yeah,
scheme.
he looked like he was
Good
enjoying
fan
it.
scheme.
Or they.
Well, and they
looked
had
like
their shirts, like you were saying, their shirts game was on.
it.
So the
Yes.
shirts were flowing.
They're like paisley,
The ones
gorgeous
with long
shirts.
hair had the
Yeah.
hair flowing. Yeah, it was dope.
Style's half the battle. Yeah, if there were people there, the crowd would have loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What else musically is there to talk about right now?
You have lots of colorful patch cables right there.
Yes.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, these are my TRS patch cables. They don't get used very often. They can be, if applications include using the CP251 to control some ogre-fogers, or an expression pedal. Sometimes I'm trying to, well, that's pretty much it, I think. I don't think most of the synths have balanced outputs, so it doesn't matter for those.
Nor would they have like stereo outputs from a single. That's a niche usage, and it's usually for effects, I guess, effects outs or effects ins, save space. Here's a stereo quarter-inch input, so your T and your R, your left and your right.
Right, like or an insert, an out and an in, like you say. I got my mixer's send to work, but then if I loop it, I think I was trying to tell you this at the show, if I loop it and I send the return back, it like sums my synthesizers for some reason in a really ugly, like a ring modulator kind of way. So I'm not sure what the deal. Maybe my mixer just can't handle all of that awesomeness.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if there's any digital stuff happening, if there's a little delay or something like that happening.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get you to look at it after we record that drum part.
Cool. So this will be at like 1:30 this morning.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have anything to do tomorrow except go in to work and uplift, be Moog's muse.
Heavy uplifting.
You're known as Moog's muse. Is that correct?
I have heard that said about me 0 times.
Oh, okay. 1.
But I like it.
I think 1 time.
I did. I heard it.
Yes.
12 seconds ago.
Yeah,
I dig it. You can call me that.
Okay, great. Everybody, we're going to take a quick break, unless you have any last thoughts, dangling threads. Funnier jokes.
Avocado.
These are hanging threads?
No, they're just things that were in my brain when you said last thoughts.
Okay. This whole... have they been on your mind the whole time? You've just been thinking about food?
Just like in that minute.
Oh, it like
that split second, that's what came into my brain.
I know. I had eggplant and shishito peppers for dinner. It was like sort of a lighter fare.
Into shishito peppers. You're the only person I know who ever talks about shishito peppers. Where do you get shishito peppers?
They were trending for like a couple months
grow
there at the beginning of COVID, and I did grow them, and they were great. And 1 out of every 10 is kind of spicy, which is nice. Had you guys over for dinner at one point and made like a shrimp over rice? Oh, which I haven't done in a long time. Basil pineapple shrimp. I've got a hankering now. And I put shishito peppers in that, which was a mistake. That's not what shishito peppers should be used for. They should be, just munched down on the stove.
Where did you find the shishito peppers?
Off the stove. They're around. I got them at Trader Joe's, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's, they've stopped packaging all of their produce? Like you can go and just grab they used to do that all the time, and that's why I didn't like shopping at Trader Joe's for a minute, because all of their produce was like vacuum packed and sealed. And
yeah, Trader Joe's is on the less expensive side, which is nice. I think everything's still pretty packaged, which is not great. And sometimes it's chopped up. Like I don't need a chopped up squash. Like just give me the squash, I'll chop it up.
Some people don't have time to chop up a squash,
I
nor
guess.
the know-how, nor the willpower.
That's true. Oh,
what's happening there?
I think I just bumped the SD card that's connected to this from my trio gig on.
Should we watch that real quick?
We should watch that while everybody watches. Let's watch it. Yeah, I had a trio
reaction
gig.
video.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, look at that face. You are trying so hard.
Oh, I truly am. I need to work on the peaceful smiling when I'm gigging.
Did you eat something bad earlier that day, or?
No, I'm smiling now. Oh, well, it's kind of bright outside, so my eyebrows are... Oh, I guess that's that.
Oh, now that, the sun has moved in across your face at minute.
Yeah, my cellist
65.
threw on some shades. Not the most professional thing. I'm glad the video's still there and works, even though I bumped the SD card, so...
Happy for you, man.
Thanks. Thanks. Um, yeah, I guess I don't really have too much to add to this.
Let's play some music.
Yeah, thanks for coming on yet again. I enjoy our maybe quarterly dinoBird sessions. This
Gotta
is
check in
episode
quarterly.
75, so I felt like it was a big one. Wanted to have back a
I like
solid
that.
guest.
Thank you. What is it, 75? That's gold?
I don't
Platinum?
75 mil?
Like anniversary or birthday or any of that?
Are different birthdays different medals?
Is this the first time you've ever heard of this?
Yeah.
They're not birthdays.
No
I think
clue.
they're anniversaries or like work anniversaries or whatever.
Oh, anniversaries, you give
Relationship
stuff like
anniversaries.
wood,
Yeah.
right?
Paper,
Right.
silver.
Mm-hmm. Roombas.
What are those made out of? Cadmium? Is that, which one is cadmium?
Well, they're good on cat hair.
They go chattin yum.
When they're sucking it up. Yeah. I don't know what 75 is. Who's been married for 75 years? That's crazy.
I don't know, it's a really long time.
Yeah. And
I
it's
think Jimmy Carter maybe got there.
75 weeks is a really long time.
It is.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. That's what I was fishing
Happy for you, man.
All right. Okay, good. I don't know if I'm feeling the praise enough. Or maybe that's me though. I need to learn how to accept
Yeah, I'm like,
compliments.
I'm trying to uplift you here, and I do it daily, so I know it's not me.
You are Moog's muse.
Doing a good job.
Yeah. You are. And viewers, you can also lift me up by checking out past episodes on YouTube and liking them and subscribing. Play the playlist and then mute it and go to sleep if you want.
And then give them all your money on Patreon.
Patreon, that's the next thing I was going to mention. Irvin Music Studio has a Patreon. This is available as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. So, I mean, you'd miss out on these faces. These putums, these gorgeous putums. But you can listen to us, especially the jam part. I think the various jams are easy enough to skip to, you know. If you're looking through the podcast, you're skipping around the podcast episode, you hear voices, you're not in the mood for some silly chats, just keep going until you hear music and then go back a little bit because you don't want to miss anything.
Sometimes you're like, okay, I know they talk for an hour. Then you're like, wow, 65, they're still talking. When do they get to the music? And then just go a little further.
That's right. We did start late, so we're not at 60. We didn't do the chat for an hour.
Can we stop early?
We can. Yeah, I was trying to stretch.
Is there like tax implications if we don't make it to 60 minutes?
I do have a Patreon subscriber who might be disappointed.
That's fine. I know that guy. You'll be fine.
He's pretty accepting, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if you're I see a couple of people are watching on Instagram.
Sorry.
And so if you are watching on Instagram, that's just for the chat portion. The music really doesn't translate very well. So find Irvin Music Studios YouTube or Facebook and tune in there. And we are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. Zach's going to smash the drums. I might smash some drums. Zach might play some synths. I might play some synths. I might play some guitar.
I will not play guitar.
Oh, bass?
I could play some bass.
More ukulele?
No. It really is just a prop.
Okay. All right. You seem very definite. I won't push it. So now we are going to go, I'm going to fade to black here. And it's gonna...
I'll play us out.
Okay, good. All right, here we go. Fading to black. We will be right back with This is Asheville 8-note. Beautiful.
Go,